If you are a student of physics, imagine you are studying light, you are studying thermodynamics, you are studying astrophysics, or whatever that is going to be. You are approaching all the topics in a same manner, in the sense that is going to be based on calculation, a concept, or maybe the expansion of an equation in this case, or that whenever you are studying this topic, the approach towards it, the thinking towards it, and also the attitude for the formation of studying these topics remains by and large the same. If you're studying sociology, maybe you are going to be studying only from a perspective of social sciences. You don't have to consider a variety of type of things that will go on to include the entire gamut of nature, politics, economics. That is included, but to a small extent. If you're studying economy, that is economics, then what all that you have to incorporate is the process of your thinking, the way that you're going to think, the way that you're going to solve a problem, the way that you approach a topic, whether it is going to be microeconomics or monetary policy, or it can be public finance, or it can be mathematical or statistical economics, is going to be the same. Can you imagine any subject that can have dimension that is encompassing the entire gamut of physics, sociology, economics, politics, nature, ecology, everything? If not, then you must imagine it is geography. Geography is one such type of subject where you pick up any approach, pick it up from the perspective of nature, pick the topic from the perspective of sociology, pick the topic from the perspective of ecology, pick up the topic from the perspective of physics. You'll be surprised, but then climatology is going to be all about. Pick up the topic from the top perspective of philosophy, perspective is going to be about it. Then whichever perspective that you can go on to pick it up, you will go on to find that geography is going to be there. It does not let you down at all. The dimensions of the subject are manifold. The dimensions are that is no one, not two, not three, not four. It can be something like some 10, 11. And the attitudinal requirement for all of these sections of geography need to be different. The process of answering them needs to be different. The way that you're going to conceive the subject, that needs to be different. The way that you understand the topic and then present it that needs to be different. There is no subject in civil services examination that offers as many dimensions of a study as geography. Is it not that a significant point? It is significant because that will go on to force you to have interest in the subject. And it is interest that ultimately counts. If you're not studying in physical geography, you're not interested in physical geography, you can be interested in ecology and environment. If you're not, then you can be in economic geography. If you're not, you can go on to be topics with sociological background. It can be settlement geography, cultural setting. If not, it can be topics with a lot of approach of economics, Indian agriculture, Indian industry. That means you will go on to have foothold enough and big enough for the purpose of evolving the subject and evolving in a manner that you will not go on to imagine also. From whichever discipline you are, geography is bound to attract you. Geography is bound to involve you. Geography is bound to develop your insights and that to multi-dimensional insights. That's one way in which you can go to see geography as a subject for civil services and why is it going to be significant. Second part about geography is that despite the fact that it is going to be very variable, it is still scientific. It's still logical. Even social issues as well, because it does not include a lot of subjectivity in this case. And when we say that it does not going to include a lot of subjectivity, the process of coming to a conclusion in geography by and large remains the same, whether it is going to be physical geography or whether it is going to be even economic geography of sorts. And when we say that the process of evolving a logic remains the same, and the process of coming to a conclusion also remains the same, that makes your task very, very easy, because you can go on to single out subjectivity, you can go to separate out subjectivity, and still go on to be with the subject and with the topic. Now that offers enormous amount of an advantage, because with subjectivity you are bound to face a lot of problems in this case. Now coming to examination. Needless to say that geography gives you 500 marks, and every marks count for you. And why is it that we're going to say it so? 2 marks can go on to be the difference between you going to be getting Indian Administrative Service, Foreign Services, to Police Services, or maybe any of these allied services as well. Only 2 marks, only 1 mark can go on to be the difference as well. And that is very, very important, largely because why should you going to miss out on anything that is going to be giving you so much marks? 500 marks is not easy. Moreover, it is not too difficult as it is going to be in general studies to score these 500 marks and to handle these 500 marks, to manage these 500 marks in geography in comparison to anything else. So as an option, it gives you 500 marks, 250 for the first paper, 250 for the second paper, and even if you're going to be getting 50%, 250 out of it, that is going to be enough, and that is how the students are going to be getting these marks as well. So leave this apart. Come to the fourth aspect. It helps you in general studies, both mains as well as the prelims examination. Now, in the mains examination, it helps you in general studies to the tune of, can you imagine, paper 1 to the tune of 100 marks. That is world geography, it is Indian geography, and all of these topics are going to be interwoven with your geography optional. Whether you study geography optional or whether you study GS, it's going to be the same thing. Incidentally, the questions in general studies are sometimes a bit more difficult than the questions of the optional. So first paper, it goes on to area to the extent of 100 marks of sorts. Now that's not over. In paper 3, it is going to be around 70 to 80 marks. And why is it that we're going to be saying it so? We're going to be saying it so only because of one reason. And that is, it has environmental issues, it has disaster management, and it has certain type of interwoven topics of even science and technology, which can go on to have geography as a foothold. It's something like a question can be like, why exactly is it that the rocket launching stations are located in the eastern part of India? What technology has India perfected for the purpose of launching this? Explain it with the help of recent launches. Now, that has a geographical background in this case here. In paper 3, it is going to be 70 to 80, and it can go on to be interlinkage between geography, ecology, economics, science, everything. It can be like, that is, forest fires are not common in India, but despite the fact that they are a common feature in the Savannah region, India has started experiencing of late. That means you can go on to take an example of the whole of the world for the purpose of discussing that part. That means both geography and ecology mixed together in this case. And that again offers so much amount of an advantage to you. Having studied one subject, you go on to be getting almost a free piggyback and piggy right with respect to your general studies paper 3. And in paper 2, that is India and the world, international affairs, that is where it is going to be. You can always go on to be having 20 to 32 questions is what you require, 2 to 3. And they're going to be having this overbearing. It's like asking you a question, what are the components or what are the advantages and characteristics of the Indian Ocean Rim countries, and how is it that IOR countries, Indian Ocean Rim countries, can be managed with the help of a blue navy economy, blue water power or blue navy. This can be linked to it. And what are the technological aspects, what are the diplomatic aspects required for making India a blue water navy? Now that means again it is going to be having a concept and a component of geography. Now imagine that, which is the one subject that goes to give you so much amount of a leverage in general studies? No subject other than geography, because it all in all covers more than something like some 700 marks in your geography mains. That's not all. Now, when you start counting the advantage of geography, there are a good number of them, and there are many of them effectively. In prelims examination, it is covering something like some 10 to 15 marks from the perspective of geography, and 15 to 20 is going to be for the purpose of environment. Now, both of them. That means at least two sections of yours are completed automatically because you are studying geography for the civil services examination. There are others as well, in other sections as well. It can go to aid you to the extent of 2, 3, particularly with respect to government programs and whatnot. Now, one of the best things about geography that not too many people are able to gather is that there are a lot of innovations that can be done with the subject. Now, these innovations can be with the help of diagram, with the help of flowchart, with the help of a text, with the help of interweaving all of them. Maybe that some of these answers you can go to write only with the help of diagrams and diagram. Take an example. If it is going to be about monsoon and you are asked about how is it that the monsoons go on to function, then what you can do is you can go to make a map of India for January. You can make a map of India for March. You can go to make a map of India for June and July, and then September and October. And then with the help of 4 maps, you can explain the whole of the monsoon. You don't require to use too much amount of a text in this case. And supposing you have a limitation with respect to your writing. Supposing your writing is not going to be good, then this is going to be one type of innovation that you can follow with respect to geography. Then pick up the second part. Even when you are going to be writing an answer, you can take a recourse to a lot of flow charts in this case. You can make it. It's like flow charts can be something like you can imagine it. That is because of a global warming, there is ice that melts in the Himalayas. Melting of the ice increases the albedo or decreases the albedo. It lowers reflectivity. When there is a lowered reflectivity, that causes absorption. Absorption means greater amount of a heat built up. Good amount of ice melting once again. Now, this is something that can be put in the form of a flow chart. One after another, after another, after another. Not too many subjects offer this type of a scope as geography offers in this case. You can make a diagram, and then with associated with this diagram, you can go into interweave it as well. Now, this is something that we are going to be showing to you visibly with respect to a lot of lessons. And since you have already taken recourse to it, you're going to find a good number of chapters, which you'll go when you're going to visit this portal or the website, you're going to find it how is it that they are made and how is it that they can be done. It's a completely separate chapter. It will not go on to do justice to the topic being done here. It's only going to be used for the purpose of an example. And that is it. So, geography offers you a scope like no other subject with respect to use of diagrams, with respect to text, with respect to diagrams. Anything you can imagine and anything that you can think of, everything is going to be associated with the subject. And last, this is one of these subjects that provides you with so much amount of objectivity. Objectivity, that means it does not include too many viewpoints, too many subjective statements, and too much amount of thinking that one can go to pour it from their own side. Objective means that you are away from too much amount of a risk of not conforming to a viewpoint that may be existing in that region and with those people as well. Now, with such type of an objectivity, you can always think of scoring very, very high in the subject. And it is from that angle, which is one of the highest scoring subjects of all the subjects known. This subject is the best subject one can go on to think of for a science student, whether it is mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, whether it can go on to be physics or anything. There can't be a better subject for science student. It's the subject. And anyone who feels a bit confusing what to choose, how to choose a subject, what to choose as a subject, being a science student, this is their best prescription. Long live geography.
To have more such discussions and analysis, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for notifications on our upcoming videos.